Since it's almost Christmas, I thought we would make some candy canes today. So I went to town and I bought myself a candy cane. Shh, don't tell the kids. I'm going to eat it while they aren't watching. It's my snack for later. Today we are going to make our usual 1/12 scale, which is right there. Let's see if we can see that a little closer. And I'm sorry, I baked my oven wasn't quite cooled down to where it should have been when I baked them, so they turned a little yellow on the first batch. My second batch, I'll be more careful. In addition, I actually made one. I won't show you this one when I make them, but you can do one. This is even smaller because I had a little end of a piece. And I'll also be showing you how to make this one. This is a 1/6 scale. So let's get my little helpers out here. Let's get wider. Here's my normal helper. And see, she's going to hold. So I can pick this up. So that fits in her hand just about like the real one fits in mine. So we know it's about right. And the other one, I've got a new helper. I borrowed a new little helper here. This one, you can see, fits about the same in Barbie's hand. So it shows you the scale. And if you've got the dolls, it really helps to have them close by so you can kind of hold their hand down by your clay when you're working. So to make these, we need some polymer clay. Now we've got white. This is a mixture of half white, equal parts white and translucent. Now when you're going to work with white clay, everything has to be cleaned off. Clean off your work surface, clean your hands, clean your pasta machine if you're using one. Everything has to be absolutely clean because white clay picks up everything. So the base is 1 part white, 1 part translucent. And we also need a smaller amount of clay that's equal parts translucent and red. Because candy is really light. If you don't put the translucent in, it will look wrong. So roll your clay, and we're going to make a short snake out of our clay. This has been sitting here for a while. So make a short snake, about like that. And we're going to make a bigger snake, a little tiny snake that's longer out of our red. And depending on the design on your candy cane, how you want to lay your stripes out. If you've got a candy cane with you to look at, that's great. Set this one up. I think I'm going to do something like this. A little different from the cane we're going to move to here in a minute. Then I'm going to make a really thin, see how things go. I might work all the way through with this cane and I might move over to the one I was working with earlier. I'm going to put a little skinny snake right there and another skinny one directly across. Now we're going to cut the ends, put that over to the side. And now we need to work this down. So we are going to start in your hands. And don't worry about keeping it perfectly straight. It's okay if it gets a little crooked. That won't really show when we're done. Cut it down. And always work with pieces that are short enough you can manage them. Because if they get too long, they start getting messed up. Just keep rolling it and rolling it on your surface. And as you go, it'll get thinner and thinner. Let's see if we can get going. And since we're going to start with the 1/6 scale, we'll get Barbie's hand back down here. She can lay her hand out here. Because I know when I lay this in my hand, it's a little thinner than my fingers are. So this cane needs to be a little thinner than Barbie's fingers. And I'm probably going to make it so it's a little bit bigger candy cane than the one I've got for comparison. Let's see. Yeah, that looks okay. So now, let's get this all an even width, even diameter. And so you can untwist and twist it back up. So, it's about like the palm of my hand. So let's get this over here by Barbie. Barbie's hand, about there. And we'll get a couple more cut. That one's longer. Come on, cooperate, clay. And they don't have to be exact, because candy canes do come in different sizes. When you look in the store, there will be some that are bigger, some that are smaller, depending on the brand. So now we're going to twist, make a pretty twist to our candy cane. And then I'm going to use some tools. I find it's easier to kind of bend these around. Kind of bend it around. Now definitely, since this is candy and we don't want a flat side on it, these we definitely have to bake on a paper plate. I'm going to shape this the rest of the way on the paper plate. And they do have a tendency to uncurl. So make the little hook a little smaller than you want it to be, so that if it opens up a little when it's baking, it'll still look good. And you'll probably have to make more than you want to have finished. Right, there's that size. Now we do the same thing. We make our clay even smaller. And we've got enough clay here to make lots of candy canes. Yeah, make it thinner. Get my other doll over here. Okay, my dear. Where's your hand? Yeah, it looks good. So I'm going to cut 3 more this size. I'll get my paper plate back without dropping the candy canes onto the floor. There we go. Get it formed. And again, you'll have to fiddle. This is kind of fiddly. That one I forgot to twist. Okay, that one is just not going to cooperate. Okay. So, let's twist this one. There we go. And kind of fiddle and kind of get them the way you want them. You can make a whole plate of these. You can make different sizes. And there you go. And if you decide you've got too much folded over, just use something to cut it off. There, that's better proportion. And that's all there is to candy canes. Bake them at a lower temperature than you usually bake your clay. I think my translucent says 230 degrees or something. And only for just a few minutes. These are so thin. 5 minutes is probably the most time you want them to be in the oven. So have fun, make lots of candy canes, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.